With so many lo-fi plugins out there right now, which one do you choose? RC20 on every single track for 100 tracks? Well, I found a new lo-fi plugin that I really like, and it has great filters, it has great warbling effects, and it's called AnyWorld. And it's from Plugin Alliance, and it's amazing. Really light on CPU, so you can use it on 100 tracks. Let's get right into it. This week's plugin of the week. We're taking it back. First things first, I'm going to talk about this plugin on different things. So I'm going to show it to you on drums. I'm going to show it to you on vocals. I'm going to show it to you on records where you want that warble effect and you want to make things sound really lo-fi and sampled. But let's start with just some claps. Like, how does this thing react to drums and percussive elements? I have this track here. I'm going to play you a little snippet of it, and then I'm going to focus on the claps here. So for me in the track, the claps kind of sound too like tick, tick, like ticky, right? That's where lo-fi plugins come in really well. I think they're amazing at like saturating sounds, making them sound a little bit less top heavy, real sparkly, or too tinny and thin. So let's check this out. This is the overall view of it. And when I open it up, I feel pretty at home. I know what wow is, right? That's going to give me like that wah, wah, warble. The flutter is going to give me more of the wah, 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 you know? That's like a wow and flutter, I guess. Making all these weird noises with my mouth. But another thing that's really cool about this plugin is that it actually gives you a speed up here with this little potentiometer. And then it also gives you a speed on the flutter as well with the potentiometer. So we'll mess around with these, but for now, I want to pop this on these claps. And I'm going to solo these out. These are just some clap samples in battery that I put together. And let's mess around with this area right here, which is kind of the old-timey age kind of thing. Cool, kind of thickens the claps up, gives me more of that palm, a lot less thin. I really do like it. I think the dirt is kind of like a saturation. Like if you use Lofi, Avid Lofi or the AIR Lofi plugin, this is sort of like that saturation. You know, it's just kind of just dirtying it up really nicely. But it's also, you're losing a ton of top end. So if I put it in the track with these claps, I'll turn that dirt up. You'll hear the top end kind of leave. Really cool though, kind of like hugs into the track, warms it up, saturates it into the track. It probably sounds a lot better in the mix than it does soloed, is what I'm feeling. Let's take all this back and let's listen to the filters instead. Let's see if we can get there a different way, just kind of high cutting and low cutting some of this information. And another thing I want to mention is what I love about these filters is they actually have a resonant right here. So like a Q, a quality, right? So you can tighten up the resonance or you can loosen it up, which is basically like the Q on an EQ or any filter. So let's tighten this up and let it really resonate and see what we can get out of it. Okay, so that sounded pretty cool on drums. These are just claps, but it's definitely doing a really cool job. So I absolutely love using lo-fi plugins in the mix, right? When I hear a producer kind of send me a stem and I hear that they're trying to do the lo-fi thing and it's just not really there yet. It's just not dope enough, or it's not fitting the vibe and I need to just kind of mix it into the mix better. Maybe make it wider, make it more interesting. I typically reach to RC20 or, you know, the Murda Melodies plugin is really cool. But we're going to try out using the Any World on that. Just kind of check it out. So let's listen to a little snippet of the song here. This is kind of a reggaeton vibe.
Guantanamera, mira cómo ella mueve esas caderas. Una catrachita de la ceiba, ella mi morena.
So we're going to focus in on this sample, this Nexus Bell sample. I popped the Any World on here, and what I want to do is I just kind of want to warble it out a little bit more. I want to mess around with kind of resonating the frequencies up here on the filters. And I want to mess around with kind of doing a mix, like a parallel mix of this. And let's turn up the wow. Let's go kind of, I always like the speed really, really slow on wow. I like it to just kind of give me a wave. I don't want it to hear it really, okay? And then we'll give it a little dirt, and we'll also keep it kind of dirty. And we don't need any noise in here, but let's just mess around with this and let's see what we could do with this sample.
Yeah, guaña pa' mi mami, guaña pa' mi mami, guaña pa' mi. Mira cómo se menea, chubo ni bola mami.
The last thing I want to try this plugin on is the vocals. So maybe like we do it on some ad-libs or some background vocals. There is a little phrase in here that I want to try it on. So let's check it out. Now what I want to do is I want to filter this more. I want it to like be kind of vibey. And I love the idea of bringing that dirt in, distorting it a little bit. And we can also just kind of bring in a little bit of wow. And then let's mix it in if we need to. But I think this is going to be a really cool starting point here. Now, obviously, you can really get crazy with this. You can high cut it pretty hard all the way up to 1K. And then you could filter it all the way up to 1K here as well. So you could really get in on this, like go all the way up to like 400 and then bring this all the way down to like 2K and just really peak out the filters as well. And just kind of see what this sounds like. Really, really fun, really vibey, and just kind of gives a texture to the vocals that I don't think you'll get out of just EQing, right? So a lot of times like I'll sweep out and you'll do the telephone EQ. This is a good way to get around that. And I'm going to push this dirt and I'm going to mess around with going around this. Maybe even bringing in some noise. Let's check it out. It's the plugin. There's really not much to it, and I really like that about this plugin is you have sort of the filter section, you have this middle section which is kind of dirt and you know, noise, and then you have this side section which is all about just making things warbly and cool and old school sampled. And then you have the mix knob and you have the start stop, fast slow. So I'm sure you could even get more kind of interesting textures and vibes out of this. And I think this has a lot to do with this section, the wow and flutter, because you're looking at a tape machine and it's kind of rolling reel to reel. And there you go. So you can literally get this for $15 a month with their package, their mix master bundle in the Plugin Alliance bundle. $15 a month, and it comes with a ton of other plugins, and I think it's probably the best bundle out there right now. Slate Digital has a good bundle as well, but I think this one's actually better for like serious mixing engineers. I use the Slate Digital stuff, but I find myself going to Plugin Alliance for their SSL stuff, for effects plugins like this, the Shadow Hills mastering compressor. There's also the saturation with, you know, tubes. There's all sorts of different stuff in there that's just incredible, especially for $15 a month. So if you guys like this, smash the like button, drop a comment. Let me know your favorite plugin package or maybe a plugin of the week that you'd like me to cover and just kind of go through. And I'd love to get into it. But for now, go sample stuff and make this thing just sing. It's dope. I like it. Hopefully you like it too. All right, peace, guys.